Good morning. Now, welcome to all of you in today's lectures. Today, I will tell you about the lung volume and capacities with the mechanism of breathing. So, today we will cover the two topics that will the lung volume and capacity and the mechanism of breathing. Because you know how can we respirate? Ever think about things? We will talk about later these things. Okay. When the I will start the mechanism of breathing. Now, first we will go for the lung volume and capacity. But before going through these topics, we must ensure why we are studying these topics. What will be the objective? What will be the learning outcome of these topics? So let's start the objectives. So upon completion of this topic, you will be able with the concept of and be able to measure the lung volumes about how much air we can inhale or how much air we can exhale. You can understand the concept of minute ventilation, tidal volume, ventilation rate during the quiet breathing and during the exercise. Because during the quiet breathing, during the normal breathing, our breathing rate is different. But when we walk, when we run, or when during the exercise, it's tremendous changes will be there. So these are the difference. So we are going to study these things. You can also account for the differences in the lung volume and the capacities between the untrained sports person. You can understand the mechanism of breathing and how we can respirate. And the learning outcomes like that, you can describe the respiratory muscles causes air to move into and out of the lungs on a scenic basis. You will see which type of muscles, which types of the nerves are here to help. You can draw a typical spirometer trace identifying the primary lungs volume and four lung capacities, because the spirometer is the name of the those instruments by which we can measure the lung volume. You can plot the simultaneously pressure fluctuation, that means about the intrapleural pressures, and the time during the apnea and the exercise breathing. Draw pulmonary functions. You can draw the pulmonary function, spirogram. So expected from the patient with low pulmonary compliance or higher airway resistance. So you can learn about these all things in the today class. Now let's start about the lung volumes and capacity. Understands lung volume because these names are defined the terms. They are talking about the lungs, and volume means amount, how much amount of air it can consist, and capacity. That means when we are talking about the combination of the volumes, that will be termed as a capacity. So it will refer to the volume of air associated with the different phases of the respiratory cycle. Lung volumes are directly measured, lung capacity are inferred from the lung volume. So you will see the lung volumes you can directly measure, and that instrument is known as a spirometer. So there will be the four types of the lungs volume will be there. Okay. So if you're gonna to see the lungs volume, then you will see there is a four types of the lung volumes: tidal volume, inspiratory reserve volume, expiratory reserve volume, and the residual volume. You can see the four different types of the lung volume. So let's start first with the tidal volume. Tidal volume, a normal volume of air inspired or expired during the quiet breathing. When we respirate a normal breathing, okay. So during normal breathing, how much amount of the air we can inhale or exhale? एक नॉर्मल श्वसन प्रक्रिया के समय कितना एयर हम इनहेल कर सकते हैं, हम अंदर ले सकते हैं या हम बाहर सांस छोड़ सकते हैं? That will be called a tidal volume. And if you measure this volume, you will find the tidal volume equal to 500 ml. So 500 milliliter of air you can inhale or expel. Okay. So I hope you got the points. What is the tidal value? Tidal value means uh, amount, the volume of air that you inhale during a quiet one breathing. Okay, during a quite normal breathing. So normal सांस लेते समय एक नॉर्मल कंडीशंस में कितना अमाउंट एयर आप सांस अंदर ले रहे हैं या बाहर छोड़ रहे हैं. यू हैव टू रिमेंबर दीज पॉइंट्स. वी आर नॉट सेइंग how much amount of air you can inhale and exhale. There's no place for and. There is a place for or. That means either you can inspire or you can expire. Okay. So you have to inhale the air or you have to exhale the air. So the amount of air that you can inhale or exhale in the one normal breath is called the tidal volume, and that will be the 500 ml. I will show this graph later. First, let's discuss about the points. Another, we have the inspiratory reserve value, IRV. Inspiratory reserve volume. You will see, inspiratory means, inspire means to inhale. Okay, when we are taking the air inside, that is the inspire. Volume means inhaling. So we already discussed a tidal volume. That means the amount of air we inhale in one normal quiet breath. But here this is not a normal. Here we can see the reserve volume. Okay, so the extra volume of air inhaled after a tidal volume by maximum inspiratory effort. The extra volume of air inhaled after tidal volume. टाइडल वॉल्यूम के बाद हम जो एयर इनहेल कर रहे होते हैं, टाइडल वॉल्यूम क्या था? नॉर्मल ब्रीथिंग. सो व्हेन वी नॉर्मल ब्रीथिंग के बाद भी जब हम लंबी सांस लेके खींच रहे होते हैं like this. So the how much amount of extra volume air I inhaled after this normal breathing, after the tidal volume, and by the maximum inspiratory effort. मैक्सिमम मैंने कोशिश किया इंस्पायरेटरी करने की, सांस खींचने का प्रयास किया मैंने मैक्सिमम. तो मैक्सिमम सांस खींचने के बाद कितना अमाउंट एयर मैंने इनहेल किया है, that will be called the IRV, inspiratory reserve volume. And you will see the IRVs is 3000 ml in adult male. So if you go to see that, you will find out that there is a 3000 ml air is inhaled in an adult male, while the tidal value is only 500 ml. सिर्फ 500 ml था tidal value. बट अगर हम जब फोर्सफुली इंस्पिरेट करें अगर हम, तो 2500 ml में 2500 ml हम एक्स्ट्रा एयर इनहेल कर सकते हैं. एक्सपायरेटरी रिजर्व वैल्यू ठीक वैसे ही एकदम सही समझिए आप. You got the correct. When we expel the air, when we exhale the air forcefully, so the extra volume of air that can be exhaled after tidal value. एक नॉर्मल ब्रीथिंग के बाद जब हम, when we exhale the amount of air, extra amount of air, extra volume of air that can be exhaled after a tidal volume by the maximum expiratory effort. इनहेल में क्या था? मैक्सिमम इंस्पिरेटरी एफर्ट. इसमें क्या है? मैक्सिमम इंस्पिरेटरी एफर्ट. सो टाइटल वॉल्यूम के बाद जो हमने जो एक्स्ट्रा अमाउंट का एयर, एक्स्ट्रा वॉल्यूम को हमने दैट विल बी कॉल्ड द एक्सपिरेटरी रिजर्व वॉल्यूम. और ये कितना होता है? 1100 इन नॉर्मल एडल्ट मेल. ओके. Another, we have the residual volume. Residual means remaining. So definitely the volume of air left out in the lungs after forceful expiration or complete expiration. So those volume of air that left out in the lungs. So the volume of air whose are these forceful expiration or complete expiration. तो complete expiration के बाद, complete सांस छोड़ने के बाद या पूरी force से सांस छोड़ने के बाद, still in the lungs there is some amount of air that is stuck. That will be called the residual value. ठीक है. पूरी सांस छोड़ने के बाद भी कुछ एयर्स होते हैं जो हमारे लंग्स में स्टक हुए रहते हैं, पड़े हुए होते हैं. That will be called the residual value, and it will be 1200 in and 1100 in female. Okay. So these are the images you can see. lung volume. You can see the tidal volume. That is a normal breathing rate. You can see the line zigzag curve goes to up and down. It's normal. You can see the tidal volume. There is a normal movement of the breathing or air. Then inspiratory reserve value. This normal breathing, this tidal volume is going to increase by the maximum inspiratory force. Maximum inspiratory force ज़्यादा amount का air को inhale किया. So maximum volume of the air inhaled during the tidal volume by the maximum inspiratory force. So that will be the IRV. उसके बाद हमने जब maximum को expel कर दिया तो that will be ERV. And after that the some amount is still remain in the lungs, that will be called the value. So the four values by which you can measure the amount of air. You can measure the volume of air. So it will be tidal volume, जिसको TV बोलते हैं, इंस्पिरेटरी रिजर्व वैल्यूम जिसको IRV बोलते हैं, एक्सपिरेटरी रिजर्व वैल्यूम जिसको ERV बोलते हैं, एंड द रेसिडुअल वैल्यूम जिसको RV बोलते हैं. साथ में ही आप देखिए इसमें लंग कैपेसिटी का भी चार्ट बना है. इसमें वाइटल कैपेसिटी है, and vital capacity, that means combination of these three, IRV, TV plus ERV, जिसमें हम IRV को भी शामिल करें, TV को भी शामिल करें और ERV को भी शामिल करें. So when these three are going to combine, that will call the vital capacity. ठीक वैसे ही when we ERV, expiratory reserve value, and the residual value, when we combine these two, it will be called the functional residual value. And when we combine these all four, it will be called the total lung capacity. Okay. So capacity is the combination of the more than one volumes. So that will be the capacity. Now see, the combination of the two or more lungs value, that will be called the capacity. You can see the inspiratory capacity, expiratory capacity, functional residual capacity, vital capacity, and total lung capacity. Now the first one, the inspiratory capacity क्या होता है? If you will look about the inspiratory capacity, then you will see the maximum volume of air that can be inspired after the normal tidal expiration. Maximum volume of air that can be inspired after normal tidal expiration. Normal tidal expiration के बाद, normal tidal expiration के बाद maximum volume of air हमने कितना inspired किया है? That can be inspired after normal tidal expiration. So inspiratory capacity will combine the tidal volume TV plus IRV. देखिए how much amount of air that can be inspired forcefully, that is the 3000. IRV कितना था हमारा? 3000 था, and tidal expiration कितना है? 500 है. So we can combine the 500 plus 3000 is equal to 3500 ml. So yes, the inspiratory capacity क्या होती है? Inspiratory capacity, how much we can inspirate. तो टीवी कितना था? 500 था, प्लस जो हमने IRV जो एक्स्ट्रा वैल्यूम को इंस्पिरेट किया है वो 3000 है. तो 3000 प्लस 500 इक्वल टू 3500 ml. तो इंस्पिरेटरी कैपेसिटी कितना हो गया? 3500 हो गया. कोई पॉइंट्स फिर समझिए कि टाइडल वैल्यूम नॉर्मल ब्रीथिंग हम कितना ले रहे हैं? 500 ml. और फोर्सफुली हमने लिया था तब कितना लिया था? जिसको हमने बोला था इंस्पिरेटरी रिजर्व वैल्यू IRV, जो फोर्सफुली हमने रिजर्व किया था आफ्टर टाइडल वॉल्यूम, वो था 3000. तो 3000 प्लस 500, दैट मीन 3500 ml हमने क्या किया है? ऑक्सीजन अंदर खींचा है. ये क्या हो गई? हमारी इंस्पिरेटरी कैपेसिटी हो गई. कितना अमाउंट एयर हम क्या कर सकते हैं? इसको कर सकते हैं. सो IC, इंस्पिरेटरी कैपेसिटी इज इक्वल टू TV प्लस IRV. एक्सपिरेटरी कैपेसिटी, कितना अमाउंट हम एयर इनहेल कर सकते हैं? तो इसमें ERV जो हमारा था, जो हमारा 1100 था, जो मैक्सिमम अमाउंट हम एक्सपेल कर सकते हैं, और नॉर्मल टाइडल वैल्यू 500. तो 500 प्लस 1100 इक्वल टू 1600 ml. तो 1600 ml क्या कर सकते हैं? ये हम सांस छोड़ सकते हैं, एक्सपायर कर सकते हैं. फंक्शनल रेसिडुअल कैपेसिटी, FRC बोलते हैं इसको. फंक्शनल रेसिडुअल कैपेसिटी क्या बोलते हैं? FRC. Volume of air remaining in the lungs after normal tidal expiration. Normal tidal expiration के बाद the air that will stuck in the lungs, FRC is equal to ERV plus RV. ERV expiratory reserve value 1100 प्लस रिजर्व वैल्यू. एक तो हमारा एक्सपिरेटरी रिजर्व वैल्यू हो गया जो हम फिल कर रहे हैं, प्लस रिजर्व वैल्यू जो हमारा वो अमाउंट ऑफ एयर दैट विल स्टक इन द लंग्स 1200. सो 1100 प्लस 1200 इज इक्वल टू 2300 ml. सो फंक्शनल रेसिडुअल कैपेसिटी कितना है जो अभी लंग्स में स्टक हो रहे हैं, तो 2300 ml is the FRC. What will be the significance of the FRC? So it will continues the exchange of gases. Exchange of gases में help करेंगे जिससे कि ऑक्सीजन और कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड्स का जो concentration है that will be maintained by the functional residual capacity. We can hold the breath. Breathing holding is possible due to the FRC. Dilution of toxic inhaled gases. जो इनहेल्ड गैसेस है जिनका हम डाइल्यूशंस टॉक्सिक गैसेस हैं उनको डाइल्यूशंस कर सकते हैं. एंड द लंग्स कोलैप्स कैन बी प्रिवेंटेड बाय द FRC. We can also reduce the workload of respiratory muscles and the right ventricle, so these can be significant. So these factors that is affecting the FRC, we can understand if there is any lung disease or the old age person, because the old age person having the weak in the muscles. And the breathing is the process in which the muscle is highly involved. So yes, these are two factors that can affect the functional residual capacity, is the old age and the obstructive and restrictive lung disease. The maximum amount of air expelled after deepest possible inspiration. Vital capacity. Maximum amount of air में क्या करना है, एक्सपेल कर देना है. कब? आफ्टर द deepest possible, लंबी इंस्पिरेशन के बाद. So vital capacity is equal to TB 500 ml plus IRV 3000 plus ERV 1100. So जब हमने TB, IRV और ERV तीनों को कंबाइन कर दे तो we will see the vital capacity that will be the 4600 ml. इसके सिग्निफिकेंस क्या है? This vital capacity, like this vital capacity, this vital capacity will help to access the strength of our respiratory muscles, and there are several factors that will affecting the vital capacity, like the age, sex, strength of respiratory muscles, gravity, pregnancy, ascites, and pulmonary diseases. Now we have another point, is the total lung capacity. The volume of air present in the lung after maximum inspiration. Okay. So in total lung capacity, the volume of air that will present in the lung after maximum inspiration. So वो volume air का जो किसमें present है, lungs में present है after maximum inspiration, मतलब लंबी सांस लेने के बाद, when we inspire, when we inhale the air and present air in the the total lung capacity, जिसमें VC vital capacity, और vital capacity में कौन कौन है, TB भी है, IRV भी है और ERV भी है, और प्लस इसमें RV जुड़ जाएंगे. So all those volumes that is present in the lungs, that will be called the lung capacity, and it will be 4600 plus 1200 is equal to 5800 ml. That will be the total lung capacity. We have another thing that will be called the dynamic lung volume. Now you can see the time vital capacity, or FVC. Now the FVC is the volume of the air that can be expired rapidly with maximum forces following a maximum inspiration, and it's timed by a spirograph. Breathing reserve or pulmonary reserve की बात करें, reserve means those amount that is restoring, reserving amount. So the maximum amount of air available The maximum amount की बात करें हम above the pulmonary reserve, that can be inspired or expired in 1 minute. So above the pulmonary reserve, the amount of air that can be inspired or expired in 1 minute will be called the breathing reserve. By PR is equal to MBV minus PP. Pulmonary reserve is expressed as the percentage of MBV and is known as the dysphonia index. Now you will see the normal dysphonia index is 60 to 90%, average is 75%, and the importance is dysphonia results when the dysphonia index becomes less than 60. Now we will go through the mechanism of breathing. In the mechanism of breathing, because it is an important topic, so you have to think. Have you ever think that how can you breathe? कभी सोचा है हम अपने कि हम सांस कैसे लेते हैं? When we talk to someone, when we eat something, when we think something, when we do something, we never focus on the respiration. If I want to do something, I have focus. If you want to talk to someone, you must have concentrate on that person, on the topic. But have you ever put your concentration on respirations कि नहीं मुझे सांस लेनी है? Have you ever think about that? No, never. क्या कभी ऐसा हमारे साथ हुआ है? किसी के साथ भी हुआ है? You know, I will take the 5 minutes for breathing. I will do this job, breathing job. No, because it is an autonomic process. It is a continuous process. We never think about that. Like when I want to talk to someone, I must talk. But I never said that I'm going for breathing. Because when I do something, I'm breathing. When I walk, I'm breathing. When I talk, I'm breathing. When I'm run, I'm breathing. When I sleep, I'm breathing. So it is a continuous process without the interruption, 24 into 7. Have you ever think how is it possible without the putting any single effort? बिना हमारे किसी परेशान के, बिना कुछ किए, how can we respire it? Even when we want to talk, we must have put some energy. We must have talked by our mouth. We have to put the concentration on the topic. We have put some words in our mouth. When we want to do something, we must have moved our hand. When we want to run, we must have moved our legs. But how is it possible that the lungs is always without putting any efforts, without putting any directly efforts on the lungs? Have you ever think like that? No, never. That's the quality of the breathing. That's the mechanism of breathing. That means the involvement of the law is there. You will see how the Beer's law will act here, how the Boyle's law will act here. Not a Beer's, it's a Boyle's law. Gaseous exchange. So mechanism of breathing is possible in two steps, the inspiration and expiration. Inspiration, that means we inhale something. Expiration, that means we expel something. Something means gases. So the lungs volume increases when we inspire it, decrease in intrapulmonary pressure, below the atmospheric pressure, air goes in, and expiration is the vice versa. I will explain very clearly, don't worry. First a brief how it will be occurred. When the lung volume will increase, you have to remember one thing. When the lung volume will be increased, the pressure will be decreased. Which pressure? Intrapulmonary pressure, or you can say the intrapleural pressure will be dropped below the atmospheric pressure. And you know, Boyle's law said the more volume, the less pressure. And if this happened, the air will always travel from the high pressure to the less pressure. ये बात याद रखिएगा हमेशा, एयर का ट्रेवल हायर प्रेशर से लोअर प्रेशर की तरफ, हवा हमेशा कब प्रेशर की तरफ रहती है? हायर प्रेशर से लोअर प्रेशर की तरफ हवा बहती है। और अगर वॉल्यूम बढ़ेगा तो प्रेशर कम हो जाएगा। ये दो चीज आपको ध्यान रखनी है। ओके, यू हैव टू रिमेंबर द टू थिंग्स, ओनली टू थिंग्स। द फर्स्ट, air will always travel from higher pressure area to the lower pressure area, one thing. Second, when the volume increases, the pressure decreases. जब वॉल्यूम बढ़ेगा तो प्रेशर कम हो जाएगा। तो अगर लंग वॉल्यूम बढ़ गया तो लंग में प्रेशर कम हो जाएगा। ओके, और इफ लंग में प्रेशर कम हो गया तो एयर सक होगा। कहाँ से? बाहर से लंग के अंदर। बाहर मीन्स एक्सटर्नल इन्वायरमेंट से, लंग्स में सब होगा। मतलब लंग इज हियर एक्ट एज ए सक्शन पंप। लंग किसकी तरह काम कर रहा है? सक्शन पंप की तरह। इट विल सक द एयर फ्रॉम द एटमॉस्फेरिक गैसेस। ओके, एंड सेम वैसे इसका एक्सपायरेशन में होगा उल्टा। व्हेन द लंग वॉल्यूम विल decreases, pressure will increases. Now if pressure is increases, then the air will travel from the lung Okay, so that will be called the mechanism of breathing. Okay, that means you can see the interpleural space that means between the visceral and parietal pleura is there. And another things that you have seen here is the lung expand and contract along with the thoracic cavity. Okay, these are the two things. Now, if you see the compliance is there, this is the ability of the lungs to stretch during the inspiration. Lungs can stretch when under tension. Elasticity property is there. It is the ability of the lungs to recoil to their original collapsed shape during the expiration. Elastin in the lungs and help recoil. Inspiration is their active process. One another important thing is how the inspiration and expiration is possible. Now, I will tell you about the mechanism of breathing, how it will start. Because we know inspiration and inhalation and expiration, these are the active and passive process. Inhalation is the active process. Why it is active process? Because in this process we need energy. इनहेलेशन में हमें क्या चाहिए? एनर्जी चाहिए होती है। अब इनहेलेशन होगा कैसे? In these cases the diaphragm will contract, increase thoracic volume vertically. Now, how the thoracic volume increase? We know if the thoracic volume is increased, अगर हमारी thoracic volume बढ़ जाए, then the pressure will decreases. Then the intrapulmonary, intrapleural pressure will decreases. And if the intrapleural pressure will decreases, then the air will suck from atmospheric pressure to the lungs. So lung is act as a suction pump in those conditions where the pressure will drop. अब प्रेशर ड्रॉप कैसे होगा? प्रेशर ड्रॉप तब होगा जब वॉल्यूम बढ़ेगा. वॉल्यूम कैसे बढ़ेगा? लंग्स थोरेसिक कैविटी का और इंट्रा प्लूरल प्रेशर का इंट्रा प्लूरल कैविटीज या यू कैन से द इंट्रा पल्मोनरी वॉल्यूम्स कैसे बढ़ेंगे? हाउ कैन इंक्रीज द थोरेसिक वॉल्यूम? So there is a two things. The diaphragm are attached to the rib cage by the radial or phrenic muscles. Radial muscles or phrenic muscles. These are the muscles by which the diaphragm are attached to the rib cage. Okay, and the rib cage is connected to each other with the intercostal muscle, जो external intercostal muscles होते हैं. So when the intercostal muscles will contract, the rib cage will expand. जब ये intercostal muscle contract करेंगे, खींचेंगे, तो rib cage क्या होंगे? Expand होंगे. और जब rib cage expand होंगे, तो volume बढ़ेगा. Okay. Second things, these diaphragm, okay, these are the dome-shaped diaphragm. This dome-shaped diaphragm are both end of the diaphragm are connected with the rib cage by the phrenic or radial muscles. So with these muscles is pulled. When these muscles will pull, then what will happen? This diaphragm is pulled. Diaphragm खींचेगा, तो diaphragm is gonna to flat. अभी पहले कैसा था? Dome shaped था. But when there is a contraction in the phrenic muscles, the diaphragm will gonna to flat. If diaphragm is gonna to flat, then again the thoracic volume will be increased. अभी ऐसे था, अब ऐसे हो गया, तो वॉल्यूम बढ़ गया. यहाँ पे थोरेसिक वॉल्यूम बढ़ गया. तो थोरेसिक वॉल्यूम दो तरीके से बढ़ रहा है. फर्स्ट, by contraction of the intercostal muscles and expanding the rib cage by pulling up. Second, by contraction of the phrenic muscles by making the diaphragm flat. So in both conditions, the volume of thoracic volume will be increased. And if the thoracic volume will be increased, pressure will be decreased. And if the pressure will be decreased, so the lungs is gonna into the negative pressure. So if the lungs is having the negative pressure, then the air will suck in. Okay, then the air will suck in, and these are the mechanisms. Second things, we have the expirations. Now, how the expiration will work? Expiration is a passive process. Now, same process happening with these things, because contraction of the muscles is gonna to need the energy. So if there is a contraction of the intercostal muscle, contraction of the phrenic muscle, then an energy is required. But in passive process, in expiration process, when these contraction is going to relax, then the rib cage is again going to their origin place. And if the diaphragm phrenic muscle is going to relax, then diaphragm going to again to the dome shape. So again the thoracic volume will be decreases. So if the thoracic volume decreases, the pressure will increases. So less volume, pressure will increase just above the atmospheric pressure, and the air will leave the lungs. Okay, so these are the mechanisms of breathing, how it will work, how they can respirate. So these all are the process of respiration. Okay, so you can see during the quiet breathing, plus minus 3 mmHg intrapulmonary pressure will be there. During the forced breathing, plus minus 20-30 mmHg intrapulmonary pressure will be there. Now you can see the pressure having the atmospheric pressure, the intrapleural pressure 756 mmHg, collapsing force of the lungs 4 mmHg. The intrapulmonary pressure is the 760 mmHg. So that is the intrapulmonary pressure 760 mmHg, और जो बाहर का pressure है वो भी 760 mmHg. So when this pressure is gonna to drop, then the air will suck in. These are the having some pulmonary disorder like the restrictive disorder, vital capacity is reduced, less air in the lungs. Obstructive disorder, rate of expiration is reduced, lungs are fine but bronchi are the obstructed. Some disorder is there, Some disorder is there, air fluid in the pleural spaces, pneumothorax is there, hydrothorax is there, phytothorax is there, hydropneumothorax is there, restrictive disorder is there, black lung from the coal mine is there, pulmonary fibrosis is there, tuberculosis, too much connective tissue will be there. These are the pneumothorax, collapsed lungs, obstructive sleep apnea. You can see the normal and the OSA will be there. Pulmonary disorder like the chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD is there. Smoking is the main cause for COPD, like asthma, emphysema, chronic bronchitis. Asthma is obstructive inflammation, mucus secretion, bronchial constriction. This all can be provoked by the allergy, exercise, cold, and dry air. And in this condition, we have to take the anti-inflammatory medications, including we can inhale the epinephrines, anti-leukotrienes, and antihistaminic drugs. Emphysema, in this case, the alveolar tissue is destroyed. Chronic progressive condition will be there, like cigarette smoking stimulated the macrophages and WBC to secrete the enzymes which digest the proteins, or the genetic inability to stop the trypsin, digestive proteins. These are some ways I have mentioned here. You can see water is applied to the volume of air that moves into the lung while breathing at rest. So we know it is a tidal volume during the normal breathing. So answer C is correct. How is the diaphragm innervated? So we know the diaphragm is innervated by the phrenic nerve arising from C3 to C5. So answer D is correct. What distinguishes the bronchioles from the larger bronchi? Bronchioles have no cartilage in their wall, so it is a different. So answer A is correct. Which structure are included in the respiratory membrane? Alveolar fluids, surfactant, epithelial cells of alveoli, basement membranes of epithelial cells, and endothelial cell of capillaries. So yes, answer D is correct here. Which structure constitute the upper respiratory tract? Nose, pharynx, larynx. So yes, answer A is correct here. What happens when the carbon dioxide level in the blood decreases to below normal? Then definitely the concentration of hydrogen ion in the blood will decrease. So you can know the answer C is correct here. In a healthy person, which of these lungs volumes should be the largest? Vital capacity will be the largest, because vital capacity is the combination of the all volumes. So yes, answer B is correct. What ensures that the lungs expand as the chest wall expand? So yes, the negative pressure between the pleura. So yes, it is correct. Answer B. Which of the following statement is correct? You can see there is the following statement. Tidal volume is maximum volume that can be inhaled and exhaled. Incorrect. FEV1, the maximum volume of air that can be forcefully exhaled in 1 second. Yes, that's correct. Another question. Which of these statements concerning the ventilation is not correct? During inspiration, the pressure in the alveoli is less than atmospheric pressure. Contraction of the neck muscle decreases the volume of the thoracic cavity. Yes, so answer B is correct here. So which of the statement concerning the ventilation is not correct? So that is not correct, because you can see the A is correct. During inspiration, the pressure should be low. Correct. C, when the diaphragm contracts, thoracic cavity volume increases. It is also correct. During quiet breathing, passive recoil of the lungs and thoracic valve causes the expiration. Yes, it is also correct. So only B is here, that is the incorrect. So answer B is correct here. These are some reference book. You can go through these reference like the Tortora, Bill Melinda, Robbins-Cottron, Watkins. Not mentioned here, the Rawson-Wilson is also there. You can go through the Rawson-Wilson is also. Okay. So these are the books, and today we discussed about the mechanism of breathing, how we can respirate. In the mechanism of breathing, there is the involvement of the two special muscles, intercostal muscles and the phrenic muscles. Okay. The phrenic muscles are radial muscles that will connected the diaphragm to the rib cage, and the intercostal muscles where the rib cage are connected with each other. So when these two muscles will contract, the diaphragm is flat by contraction of the phrenic muscles, and the rib cage is going to pull by the contraction of the intercostal muscles. So in both cases, the thoracic volume will be increased, intrapulmonary volume will be increased, and if the volume will be increases, the pressure will be decreases. So when the pressure will be gonna decrease in the lungs, that means it will be goes in the negative pressure as compared to the atmospheric pressure. The lung pressure is negative. So we know when the negative pressure is working, that will act as a suction pump. So in this case, lungs is act as a suction pump, and they will suck the air from atmosphere, and air will travel inside the lungs. That is the active process or inhalation. And just is vice versa, exhalation. When the intercostal muscle is relaxed, the rib cage is gonna to down or is in their place. And similarly, when the phrenic muscle is relaxed, then the diaphragm is going to dome shape. So in this both condition, the volume of the thoracic volume is going to decrease. That means intrapulmonary pressure is going to increase. And if the intrapulmonary pressure is increased and atmospheric pressure is decreased, then the negative pressure is out of lung. So the air will be shut out. The air will travel to out of lung. So that is the mechanism of breathing. Is very easy. Okay, just go through these books and study these things, and if you have any doubt, then I will clear your doubts. Then thank you for the today lecture. Then we will meet again in the next class with some new topics. Till then, thank you.